So let's talk about the things that have been happening this weekend. This is kind of an unusual convention. At
Yes.
least the displays are very different. And tell me how all of that came about.
Well, there was several years ago, maybe as much as 6 or 7 years ago, Rob Kempinski had an idea to do an entire convention and do it in multiple venues and have music and different pop-up things that occur, which I think there was a pop-up things at this time that occurred. Um, but it was a little bit too grand at the time. So that was always in the back of my mind because I helped him scout some locations. And then I just had an idea, Laurent Derieux, can't pronounce his name, sorry. He, I saw his stuff, it's becoming more popular, but some of the elite are trying to keep him out of shows and such, the whole cosmic bonsai style. Um, he, I reached out to him. I was talking to Catherine, and he said, "Well, what is the theme of this year?" And it's just let's do something different. So we're trying cosmic bonsai. I originally had another artist who was going to come in and do as a counterpoint to cosmic bonsai. He had to bow out, so now we had Evan Pardue from Underhill Bonsai come in. And Evan has worked with Laurent previously, so that was a good fit, the two of them. And then we had the opportunity to have young Choi, who is probably the best Kusamona artist in the world, in the United States, come in and teach us for an extremely reasonable rate, because she has done classes that are $1,000 per person. So we had a really inexpensive. I mean, she loves the work. She's a true artist. In all three of them, I've spoken to them. True artists would do it if they didn't get paid, and Young has proved that. So the idea of let's do something different brought Rob in to put together a creative display, which is a little bit different than most displays. Most displays are about the bonsai tree and the art of bonsai, how you build them and structure them. But this time, his idea is all about just the display, and bonsai is the complement to the display, and it's supposed to tell a story. So there's a post-apocalyptic display that has asphalt as the stand, and every single thing except for the trees it's made from clay, and it's Hippie Dad Bonsai. Doug Markham, he's an excellent potter, and he created cigarette butts and apples chewed to the core, tuna fish cans and sardine cans, and a takeout Chinese food, the white with the red. All of that is clay, and that was his idea. That was his creative display. Another lady had the Cadillac Ranch, which is on Route 66 in Texas, and she said, "Okay, that's my idea." And the Cadillac Ranch has Cadillacs planted in the ground at an angle, and when you visit it, if you drive Route 66, they allow you to spray paint your name on these Cadillacs. And of course, the tree that she used was the Texas ebony. So we had Cape Fear Bonsai Society come in from North Carolina, and the display that they came up with was out of this world. It's probably one of my favorites.
It was really quite creative. Is this the first time we've had societies from outside of Florida coming and participating in a BSF conference?
Probably in previous years before my time, but since I've been doing bonsai in Florida, 20 years or so, I don't think I've ever seen it. It's almost like a modern art installation.
Yeah.
You walk in the room and the first thing you see is maybe the Chinese scholars room, or you see a giant rain tree from Julie Trigg, or the cute little box that Rob made with the sea grape in it, or sea hibiscus in it. And then you follow along. It's not straight lines like a parking lot.
Right.
You actually can walk around, and there's corners, and you walk over here, and there's the smell of grape soda from the Vietnamese bluebells. Walk over here, and you kind of smell the brackish water for the Cape Fear bonsai uh, display. So yeah, it's amazing. And then what's even more different is cosmic bonsai, and that's hard to explain here in a couple short sentences. There's 2 books written about it, but it is what people don't understand is that it's a different way of looking at the art, and he really it's art is shapes, it's color, it's texture, but it's also line. And the cosmic bonsai, you almost always show it defoliated, which I like to show trees defoliated well, so you can see the branches. So these branches are twisted and turned, and it's the concept is that it is a tree that did not evolve on an Earth-like planet. So say there might be 2 suns, and the tree tracks across the sky with the 2 suns, or the gravity is more or less, and that's what influences trees on Earth to grow. So how is it going to grow on an interstellar planet somewhere that life exists? So the concept and then the execution. Laurent he created an interesting idea, and it appeals to the artist in me. And so yeah, we brought him in for that. We talk about art. He and I are almost kindred spirits. My last name is Levine. If you pronounce it in French, it's Levigne.
Yeah.
And he and I have that. There's a certain bond for that.
There's 2 separate things there. There's cosmic bonsai, and there's this terribly creative display that certainly I've never seen anything like it before. I don't think too many people have seen anything like it.
Well, Laurent is saying it's the first modern bonsai exhibit in the United States.
So is this fad, or is this the birth of a new direction for bonsai?
I don't think it's a fad. I think it's a different way of seeing things. Like I can see myself incorporating the wiring techniques and the scarification techniques in, say, like a species like the Brazilian rain tree. And they grow a flat top. In the concept of a flat top, a tropical flat top, it has to get to as high as it can, but the sun is so bright and directly overhead. As soon as the tree gets to as tall as it can get, which that's the limit of how water can flow up a trunk. So once you get to that top, it can't go higher. So what is it going to do? It's going to keep spinning and twisting and turning in order to get the sun. So if you can, I can definitely see that, cosmic style wiring in flat tops and tropical trees. And chojubai, Japanese chojubai, seem like they would be perfect for the technique as well.
Laurent and I, he was kind enough to sit down with me yesterday and talk some of these things about, and he made a point of talking about the flat top trees that we do here in Florida. He says, now that's innovative. That's a throwback to real art. But he also says he's inspired because he thought bonsai was no longer an art; it was become a craft.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
So I've been thinking about that a lot this year. Probably because of the influence of the theme. Some people may get annoyed at what I'm saying, but the way most people practice bonsai, it's as a craft, because you must go this way and that way, and first branch, second branch, back branch, top. It's a simplified version of art, and if you are told that that's how you do it, it's a craft. It's like the difference between learning how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb and then listening to John Coltrane play Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know, the learning of the song is the craft. You learn the techniques, you learn the pauses between the notes. But the art is making those pauses between the notes make a difference. You know, you kind of drop or you go a little bit forward to tell the story that you're trying to tell. And that is art. It's seeing something different in what we do all the time. Many people have said, and they were very skeptical on Cosmic Bonsai, on the creative displays until they saw it and they understood it. Sometimes seeing is believing, right? And you see a picture of a Cosmic Bonsai and it just looks like a mess. But what I tell my students and what I was taught as a student is that to truly see and understand what a bonsai is, you have to have it in your presence and breathe air into it and see the light as it comes through the leaves. And you know, you have to see it in 3 dimensions, because anyone can make any tree look good on a photograph, but to make it look good in real life where you can, oh, look at that, that is the true art. And that's what you have to learn. I do believe it is. When I first started bonsai, we had 9/11, September 11th, and my first teacher was Ray Aldridge at Bonsai World in Windermere, Florida. Here, he, you know, I went to him and he's like, "Wow, no one's come." I was gonna close up my thing. No one comes anymore, because that just, I mean, it sucked the wind out of a lot of things.
Sure.
So it's been building up, and then it kind of goes down and building up. One of the things I look at, not just bonsai clubs, but other clubs, horticultural clubs, or even like the Masons or the Elks or something like that. The people in those have been going away. So many of those clubs, like and this was like 10 years ago, I did an intro to bonsai class for the Bromeliad Society of Seminole County. So you get there and you get to sit and listen to the business meeting, and they had a hall, a huge hall where they met, and the club owned it, but they could not make, so there's no mortgage payments, but they could not make enough money to buy the insurance on it. So they were thinking, you know, how can we sell this as a nonprofit club? And do we give the money back to the members, or do we do this or that? And now, and it's an interesting thing, COVID made people look into themselves, and all types of interests were sparked because of that.
So what do you think is coming for next year?
There's a couple secrets, but I think maybe we might go just a little bit smaller next year. We have several artists they've already been booked. I'm working on a 3rd person. I'm talking to some local people, sourcing material for, you know, not quite so big a trees, but it's kind of smaller trees. And in that, I'm looking at the exhibit tables, raising them up so that they're at eye level.
Yeah, it's kind of a downer when you're looking down on things and you can't see the trunks really. And
yeah, there's the Japanese tokonoma that's in there, and you really need to be sitting down on the floor to look at that.
Right.
And that was not something I could do because I have bad knees. So, yeah, the way that you look at a bonsai really makes a difference, and I think we can elevate that so we can see them better.